On today's episode of Mr. Ready, we are up at my ranch. And as you guys saw in previous episodes, we had a major windstorm. And now the cleanup begins. I asked a good buddy of mine and a close neighbor, Chris, to come over here and help us. And the reason I invited Chris over is one, you've been doing a lot of these lately, huh?
Been working for the last 2 weeks on these things.
Oh my goodness. And two, Chris actually is a safety expert. He's worked in various industries. And so I thought it would be really good not only to learn how to limb and buck these trees, because these are a little different, right? These got knocked down through a windstorm. Yeah. They weren't just laid down and felled.
Yeah, you know, especially with your property, it's showing that, you know, all the weak points in the tree are the ones that broke, not down at the bottom.
Right.
So you just got to keep an eye on them and be careful with them.
Right.
Take them apart in small bites.
Okay.
Don't go for the whole tree, you know, work your way through it.
Yeah, so when you guys, when you're looking at your property or you're helping a neighbor out, hopefully today you're going to get a little bit out of that. Do you need your legs that far apart? So one of the things that we want to talk about, and it's something I'm learning a lot about, is the safety gear. I noticed that you got on some chainsaw, that they call those chaps, or what do they call it?
Yeah, chaps. They're really break-free chaps, so when the blade actually hits it, it comes unraveled.
Okay.
And what it does, it tangles up the blade and stops it.
And have you ever heard of anybody actually doing that?
I have.
He was actually just telling me a story about a neighbor that called him and said, hey, little help. And when the guy showed up, he had buried a blade right through the top of his quad, and you sutured him up?
Yeah, we fixed him up. Yeah, let's put it that way. And it's just a point that this guy's been cutting trees for 60 years.
Right.
And just so happened at that point in that tree, it bucked out and caught him in the blade.
Right. And you said he'd been doing this for a long time.
Long time.
Never got hurt until that one time.
That one time.
And luckily he had a good neighbor close.
Yep, we fixed him up. But
all right, I'm gonna get suited up and then we'll get started.
Sounds good. Here's a tree that we're gonna do. It's not a dangerous tree, it's not a big tree.
Well, it's a little dangerous.
Well, you can make it dangerous.
Right.
Right now, it's hooked pretty good.
Okay.
You can go for this end and try to drop her off, and you got like a 5-6 foot drop, and there's no reason for that.
Right.
So we're gonna come from the front.
Okay.
We're gonna kind of work our way up. We're gonna make this a little bit lighter.
Okay.
And once it's a little bit lighter, we'll cut her off and get her on the ground and then finish working the tree up.
So are we gonna leave these bottom limbs so it's supporting it up, or what are we gonna start with?
Yeah, so we'll probably start about halfway down. I'm gonna leave limbs on both sides where I'm gonna make my first cut just to keep it off the ground.
Okay.
And then I'll just kind of assess it as we go. And depends on what it looks like or what it's doing, how deep I'm gonna go.
All right, now big. I noticed you got a big boy chainsaw here. I've also got my Milwaukee 16-inch. Mm-hmm. Which one are we gonna start with today?
We're gonna use my saw.
All right.
We're gonna go big. Go big or go home.
See you later. All right, let's go.
Just gonna clean off a little spot here where I can get in here and not have a limb hit me or nothing.
All right, so that was interesting. You came in, cleared that out, and then you made your 2 cuts. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, so what you want to do is make your initial cut on top, but all your pressure is going to be pinching your blade if you go too far.
Okay.
So you're just going to make your mark, then come up from the bottom to design for that.
Right.
And then make your cut up.
And then the idea was this now supports itself, and the rest of this weight's a lot less.
So the nice thing about the way it's sitting with these branches, as you go, you take a couple branches, start making your cuts. It's gonna keep it off the ground all the way down.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep working this, kind of determine how I'm gonna get it down off the ground. I'll know that once I get closer, how much weight there is.
Gotcha. But it keeps getting lighter as you keep taking sections off. All right,
correct.
Let's see it. All right, so let's talk about that. You just kind of kept working your way back, and then here you decided to cut that in the middle. Same thing, you're just letting that thing kind of come down, and it's what, about 2-3 feet off the ground?
Yeah, you know, I left one branch here just to keep it from hitting too hard.
Catch your breath? You
yeah,
right?
no, it's a heavy saw.
I know. I was working hard over here.
Yeah, I got to the point where I knew it was just hanging.
Right.
It was putting weight to the left.
Right.
I came to this side and cut it and it just fell off.
No, it makes it nice. And now at this point, guys, pretty much all the super dangerous part is done. I mean, always danger with a saw, right?
That's correct.
But
so we'll just keep limbing her up and
I like it. But I think on this next step, I think I'm gonna bring old Milwaukee out. You guys are gonna be impressed with my little Milwaukee. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, it's getting hot, so.
All right, guys. I mean, horsepower is awesome. Torque is what really matters. This is my old Milwaukee. You may have seen it in my last episode. Chris, M18 12.0 amp hour, 6,600 RPM. Let's get her to work. Look at that baby go.
So what happens when you don't have a place to plug that thing in?
Hey, my truck has a battery. It has my truck has a, we're gonna come up with that word here. Just stay with us a few hours later. It has, thank you camera guy, an inverter. And in 6 hours, all right, now we start working our way back. I'm just telling you guys, she continues to impress me. What do you think, Chris? Is that impressive?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lady on port protection using one, and
I think you're just jealous. All right, get to work. Let's see it.
All right, we're gonna knock this one down all the way, so.
I gotta admit, folks, it does sound better. Hey, can I yell timber? What do we do there? We're off the chain?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, you got something in there.
Bound it up.
Time to get the tool.
All right, guys. Now you get to see how to unbound a chainsaw. And with that, we'll be right back. Other way.
Yeah.
Go the long way.
Yeah.
See, Milwaukee thinks of everything.
Ooh, did you hear a pop?
Under
Something
tension.
got in there.
How long is your bar?
Longer than most.
It's not about the size of the bar, folks. I do just fine with a 16-inch bar. Some of these guys, I think, have to compensate.
Might have to get the other saw. Yeah, I need to do some work.
Milwaukee might have to finish this job. That's all I'm
Might
saying.
have popped the bearing.
Oh, is that what you think it is?
Yeah, possible.
See, guys? Just because you got a great big bar, if you don't know how to use it.
You use your bar incorrectly. It's possible, like I said, I see some black in that stump. I don't know why, but either my saw left that behind, meaning that's bearing grease. So who knows?
All right, well, I'll finish the job, folks.
Well, you know, you live up here. It's not like you can take your chainsaw down to your shop. You know, you got to be able to tear it apart yourself, fix it, get it back in the working order.
All right, so we got this safely down, folks. We're gonna finish limbing this up, and then we'll take a quick look at what we did. We'll go from there. All right, guys, so Chris is down. You know, he had the big bitchin' chainsaw. And let me give you a hint. I have a couple videos. I'm just giving him a hard time. But I just finished an episode where I used this Milwaukee, was out with my truck in the woods and came across a downed tree and was able to get ourselves through it. And here we are, gonna take down and go ahead and finish limbing and bucking one of these other trees that came down. You guys hear how nice it is? It's nice and quiet out here in the mountains, probably other than my heavy breathing. But tell you what, guys, another win for the electric chainsaws. You can be out here enjoying your ranch, doing your work, and it's only operating. It's not sitting there going while you're moving this stuff. I just really like those things. You guys think? So it's funny, sometimes I get up here and I think of all the other things I need to be doing. And I also think about the fact that I didn't go to the gym this morning, but I gotta laugh. Because if you get up here and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not gonna need the gym. I think that's something we've lost. You know, we used to be 80% rural and 20% in the cities, and that's more than flipped. I think we're like 94% in the cities and 6% rural. And that's why we have gyms everywhere. It's also how I got that nice belly. But you get out here, do an honest day's work, you don't need the gym.
Your battery died?
Did you get done playing with your dinghy?
Chain tensioner snapped.
What's that?
The chain tensioner.
Oh yeah.
And then went back in the sprocket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, I did most of the work, so sure appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, I heard this thing squealing down here like it was...
After you. All right, hold on.
You have a race?
Ready?
Go.
One more.
All right, you want me to give you a
Go. Well, as you guys can see, you know, just takes a little bit of planning, wearing the right safety gear just to be smart up here. It always helps if you got a good neighbor that's gonna come over and show you how to take something down. You know, some of these, they call them widow makers, can be up there, and that's where the expertise, these guys walk you through how to do it. Chris, I sure appreciate you coming up, helping me out.
No problem.
And if you don't mind, I got one more of these we can knock out before we get out of here.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll help you out with it.
Awesome, man, appreciate it.
All right. I hate you.
Dude, the Milwaukee's got this, man, we're good.
The what?
Little old Milwaukee.